Now as I'm back in the forest, there was one thing I didn't talk about. And that thing I didn't talk about is the significance behind the ravens and Odin's ravens, or his wolves. Ravenous and hunger signify what motivates mankind to move on. Even if it's a hunger for learning, or a hunger for land, or a hunger for wealth, or love, it is something that motivates you. And then another aspect, the thought and memory that the ravens represent. Thought and memory. You cannot remember something unless you think of it. You cannot think unless it's born out of a memory. Now I know this is very esoteric, but in Buddhism it is believed that we are not anything except for a constant chain of reactions towards stimuli. And those stimuli don't need to be anything aside from things in life. But our reaction to a previous similar stimuli is what sets up our reaction to a future stimuli. So I always think and then I remember how to act. So it's very interesting to see how these two successor concepts out of Proto-Indo-European have interrelated upon each other. Another thing is what the ravens signify. Whenever you see a raven, it is often thought to be a spirit of a loved one, a solo raven, because usually they are in groups. When you see two, it is thought to be Odin or the other gods watching you from Hildeskaf, his high seats. His ravens are how he sees the world. And when then you see groups, of course, it's just a family of ravens. And then wolves also. The wolves were a very important totem animal for many, many people, as we would often run through the forest and mimic the wolves. Because of their intelligence, because of their sacrificing nature, they would literally help. You know, in a pack of wolves, the wounded wolf is second to the last in the pack when trudging through the snow. That's so the front wolves can break the snow and make it easier for the wounded wolf. They care for each other. They care for the old. They care for their sick. Only is the alpha ever run off. It's very similar in human culture, very similar in gorillas and lions and other upper level mammals. We must realize that. We must understand that we emulate those animals. Yes, some of the ancients emulated bears because of their rugged ferocity and their own. But it was in the ancient northern world that men would go off and live on their own, live only off what they hunted and what they could survive on, and off the scavenging of wolf kills, to turn themselves into a better person, to survive, to understand that we must get back to the animal nature, because the animal that has the closest similarity to humankind's base family unit is the wolf, and always under the ever watchful eye of the raven.